Well, now I thought we would jump to chapter 5, and
Mhm.
you talk about what's called the hard meta problem of consciousness. Now, probably our viewers are familiar with the hard problem of consciousness, but could you describe a little bit about the easy meta problem of consciousness and then the hard problem? Because this is going to become important as we progress through chapter 5. And then I can put on the screen the easy problem and the hard problem, what that's about, so they can read it as well.
Right. So the hard problem of consciousness just is about, maybe answering the sort of, you know, why we're conscious. The easy problem might be, why, how are we conscious? But the other is why, in the sense of, one way to think about it, Chalmers does this, is just take the totality of physical facts um, about, the universe. So all the physical facts, every fact that physics will work with and explain ultimately. Total those up and then consider the qualitative facts, the facts about what it's like to experience, a sunset or any state of phenomenal consciousness. And it seems to be the case that you can't derive um, facts about phenomenal consciousness from facts about physical things. And so that introduces what we call the epistemological problem of consciousness, and that turns into then what's called the explanatory gap, which is if you can't derive knowledge about consciousness from knowledge about physical things, then it seems like you can't explain consciousness in terms of physical things, and that would constitute the hard problem of consciousness. So you've got this easy problem and this hard problem. The easy problem might be the sort of thing, perhaps, that the neuroscientists can explain by figuring out the mechanisms for consciousness, let's say. But the why do you get experiences from the rearrangement of matter? That's going to be the hard problem, and it's called the hard problem because it's difficult, very very difficult. And its difficulty, though, I'll say, comes from not consciousness itself. It comes from assuming physicalism, assuming that the totality of that everything that has causal power, everything that exists, with causal power, is going to be reducible to the physical, and that entails then that what consciousness either has no causal features, um, and that seems false, or is just reducible to the physical. And so the hard problem is hard because we're starting with physicalism.
Okay, and then just to clarify, so the meta problem you talk about there is just the hard problem. Is that
Well, the
right?
meta problem then, hard and easy problem of consciousness is about consciousness itself. The
Mm-hmm.
meta problem, and this is coined by again by David Chalmers, is the problem of the difficulty in explaining why it is that the vast majority of people are inclined to think that consciousness isn't physical. Why are they
Mm.
inclined to think or in the sort of, for philosophers, it would be, why are philosophers, even physicalists, inclined to report that the hard problem of consciousness is really hard, and
Mm.
it's hard in part because dualism just seems to be true. And so he calls this the meta problem of consciousness. And then we'll make this distinction, sort of playing on the hard and easy problem of consciousness, to say no, that's an easier problem. The difficulty in explaining why we're disposed to report that is much easier than what we call the hard problem, or the hard meta problem of consciousness, and that's the difficulty of explaining why it seems to us that dualism and or substance dualism is true. So the easy problem is, well, why are we disposed to report that it seems true? And the other is, no, why does it actually seem true? The first one I think is easy because you might think that that's just a behavior that maybe is sort of culturally, ingrained or something. But the second one is no. Why does it seem not why do they say it seems, but why does it actually seem the case to individuals that dualism is true?